Hello friends, you're welcome to my complete Java course. In today's video lecture, we are going to learn interface in Java. So let's start. Interface in Java. So what is the interface? The interface in Java is a mechanism to achieve abstraction. There can be only abstract methods in the Java interface, not method body. It is used to achieve abstraction and multiple inheritance in Java. In other words, you can say that interface can have abstract methods and public static final variables. It cannot have a method body. Means in the interface before the Java 1.8 version, you cannot define a body for a method in the interface. But from the JDK 1.8 we can define the body for the methods, and that methods is called the default method. This concept we will learn in the Java 8 features when we learn the Java 8 features. But here you have to remember that in the interface you can define the method without body, and you can define only the public static final variable. Okay, why use Java interface? There are mainly three reasons to use interface. They are given below. Number one, it is used to achieve abstraction. Number two, by interface we can support the functionality of multiple inheritance. What is the multiple inheritance? We'll discuss in the inheritance section. Okay, number three is it can be used to achieve loose coupling. Loose coupling what? We'll discuss in later. How to declare an interface? An interface is declared by using the interface keywords. By using the interface keyword. Like we define a class by using the class keyword, in the same way, interface is defined by using the interface keyword. It provides total abstraction. Total abstraction means we cannot define a body for a method. Means all the method in an interface are declared with the empty body, and all the fields are public, static and final by default. A class that implements an interface must implement all the method declared in the interface. So suppose if a class is implementing an interface, suppose so, if a class extend a class means uh, a class is extending the property of the other class or from the parent class. In the same way, if your class is inheriting the property from the interface, so for the inheriting you use the implements keywords, not the extends keyword. So a class that implements an interface must implement all the method declared in the interface. So if your class is implementing the interface, then you will have to provide the method body in that class. Syntax interface, the interface name, declare field constant means public static final fields, and abstract method. Internal addition by the compiler. The Java compilers add public and abstract keywords before the interface method. Suppose if you define a method in the interface without defining a abstract and public keyword, then it will when you will compile the Java file, it compiler automatically add the public and abstract keyword before the interface method, and it will add the public static final keywords before the data member. Suppose if you define a methods, suppose you create a interface and you define a method, normal method, and you define a variables in the interface. When you will compile it, compiler automatically add the public abstract before the method and public static final before the data member or the variable. Like you create an interface printable. Here you define a int minimum 5, which is a variable, and you define only the void print, which is a method. After the compilation, public static final int minimum equal to 5 and public abstract void print. So after the compilation, the structure of the class file will be this. The relationship between classes and interfaces. As shown in the figure given below, a class extends another class. Means one class extends another class. If a class want to extend the property or inheriting the property from other class, then it use the extend keyword. An interface extend another interface means if an interface getting the property from the another interface, then also it use the extend keyword. But a class implementing an interface means if a class inheriting the property from the interface, then it will use the implements keywords. So a class extend a class implement an interface, but an interface extend a interface. Java interface example. In this example, the printable interface has only one method and its implementation is provided in the A6 class. So this is the interface, this is the method. Whether you define abstract or not, compiler will automatically add the abstract keywords. So you will give the implementation for the print method, and you can create the object for the class, and you can call the method. So you will get the output hello. Let's I show you on the Eclipse IDE. Interface printable void print. Public abstract void print. Whether you define a public abstract or not, but you should define, so it will be more clear. Otherwise, if you will not define, compiler will add these two things. Okay, now if you want to use this interface, then you will have to use implements printable. So as you implement a printable, here it will show an error. It will saying add unimplemented method. Okay, so rest click here, and just you need to give a body like so. Okay, now you can call this method by the help of creating the object for that method. Test t equal to new test t dot print. Okay, that is outside from the main. Okay, now it is fine. Okay, now we will call t dot printable. Okay, now you run this, you will get the output printable method. So this is like a abstract class where you define a method, but in the abstract class you can define an abstract method as well as you can provide the body for the method, but in the interface you cannot define a body. But here also you will have to provide the body in the implementation class, and you can call the method. Now we will discuss about the difference between abstract class and interface. Number one, Abstract class can have abstract and non-abstract methods, but interface can have only abstract method. Since Java it can have default method and static methods also. We learn how to define a default method when we will discuss on the features of Java 8. Abstract class doesn't support multiple inheritance. What is multiple inheritance? We learn in the interface, inheritance concept, which we learn within a two or three video after 2 or 3 videos. In interface supports multiple inheritance. Number three, abstract class can have final, non-final, static and non-static variables. Interface has only static and final variables. Abstract class can provide the implementation of interface. Interface cannot provide the implementation of abstract class. The abstract keyword is used to declare abstract class. The interface keyword is used to declare an interface. An abstract class can extend another Java class and implement multiple Java interface. An interface can extend another Java interface. Abstract class can be extended using keyword extends. An interface can be implemented using keyword implements. A Java abstract class can have class member like private and protected. Means the variable in the abstract class we can define private, protected, public, etc. But in the interface, member of the Java interface are public by default. You cannot define a interface variable as a private and protected. Example, public abstract class safe, and you define abstract method. Here is the example for defining the interface. So friends, thank you for watching this video lecture. I hope you enjoy and understanding about the differences between abstract class and interfaces. Thank you for watching this video lecture and watch my next video lecture for learning new things in Java.